Sitting here and an email popped up, and it's one that I get asked a lot. I try to respond to emails when people email me, and a frequent one that I've been asked is, hey Brad, how did you guys survive your first year? Doing this, a lot of people take chances and they get out of that 9 to 5, working for somebody, having that steady money coming in. And, it's scary when you get out there on your own, So in this video, I'm going to kind of go over some stuff that helped us, get through our first year.
Twin Rivers hotshot.
So for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Brad. I have a trucking company. We do hotshot trucking, and we started it in 2021. So here it is, 2024. I got my first setup in 2019. So when we started this in 21, we started with 2 trucks, brand new MC number. For anybody that doesn't know what MC number, motor carrier number, basically every time you book a load, they ask you for your MC. They run it through a database. It basically says when you were established and basically what's on your history. So having a brand new MC number is gonna make it tough to get loads, very first starting out. And we started off with 2 trucks, brand new MC number. The other thing we started off that was brand new was our dispatch. My wife, her and I, we both quit our jobs and said we were gonna do this full time, and we did it. And since then, I think last year we did 500 grand. We are a small company, we like to keep it small. But, some of the things that we paid attention to coming into this was our overhead. Overhead is everything. Now, when you're doing 2,000-3,000 miles a week, you have to have good equipment, which means you're probably gonna have to have a newer truck. So what we did was we went and financed a truck, and then I found a trailer and I paid cash for it to kind of, help with my overhead. But the main thing was staying consistent, doing all of my maintenance, oil changes like I should, fuel filters, because if that truck's not going, you're not going to be making money. Another thing we focused on was getting our foot in the door with a lot of brokers. So starting from scratch with no customers, anybody that paid good on their loads, anybody. What I always did was did a little follow-up phone call or an email, and I'm like, hey, we just ran this load for you. I see that you guys paid really, really good. If we're ever in the area, do you mind if I call you again? Almost all of them, are like, yeah, call me, you're back out here. So that was another thing that we did, was we did start making a Rolodex of brokers that we've done business with that paid good. One of the biggest things that we did, and this came out to help us in the long run, is, we're spending the money, we're working as hard as we can. We did not want to be known as the cheapest company. Now, we weren't going to be the most expensive, but we weren't going to be the cheapest. And when you kind of set your bar like that, you're going to run into 2 kinds of people. You're going to run into people that want cheap, or you're going to run into people that really don't want cheap. And you're going to run into more people that want cheap more than anything. We ended up getting one of our customers because we weren't cheap. He didn't want cheap. And since then, we've done about 260 loads for the guy. But the main thing with that is, still to this day, we try to do more than everybody else. what I'm saying is anybody almost can get in a truck, drive a trailer, strap a load down, run from A to B. What we try to do to separate ourselves from them is like, what can we do that's more than everybody else? Well, there's not a whole lot you can do, but you know, communication, getting into a pattern of paperwork, getting BOLs, sending out BOLs when they're signed, doing check calls, being where we say we're going to be on time. You know, and we've had loads to where we're running for a customer and something happens and we got another truck on it to do delivery before, you know, they even knew, you know. So just being consistent on time every time to where, you know, we kind of worked ourselves into a spot where it was like, hey, we know if we deal with Twin Rivers, we're good, you know. So, you know, just doing little key things like that really helped us get through our first year.
One of the biggest things was trying to minimize like our biggest expense, which was fuel. So one of the smartest things I ever did, and I ran for probably 18 months without this, was to get a fuel tank. I went out and I got a fuel tank, and that did two things for me. That minimized my stopping time, because if you think every time you stop, it's at least 20 to 30 minutes. By the time you put your blinker on, you exit, you wait in the fuel line, you get fuel, you get back on the road. And when you're doing that 2-3 times a day, you know, that's an hour, hour and a half. You know, at the end of the week, that's 6-7 hours a week. Versus, you know, I got a big tank, I'm able to fill up where fuel is the cheapest with my fuel card. And you know, I noticed two things. I started saving on average about $200 a week, which was saving that. I wasn't having to fill up with whatever was around me. I'm able to search out, you know, 300-400 miles and get the cheapest fuel. So I started saving about $200 a week, and I started making these deadlines and staying, you know, ahead of my clock, and that was a huge thing for us. A little bit of luck too, but you know, by not being the cheapest, by doing more than everybody else, doing check calls and being on time and this and over and over and over, and every morning on Monday, even though I'm gone, waking up and putting my boots back on and getting back at it. Like, I mean, the first couple of years are crucial. I would say the first 2 years are real crucial in this, because, you know, you want to get your name out there, especially like in Fort Worth. Like, a lot of people know of Twin Rivers. So, but I just wanted to make a little video. I was answering an email just now, and you know, those things right there, you know, keeping our overhead down, having good people, and just trying to do more than everybody else, I think really kind of helped us get through that first year.